Mr. Rewane?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I said from exporting oranges to China and building railways, what are your expectations? What would you want President Buhari to be the key point with the Chinese in terms of deliverables?
First and foremost, we like to understand the pricing formula between which underlie those transactions to ensure that we are not paying too much in terms of oil or anything to get the products and the investment in return. Number two, we want to ensure that our exports to China increases and that the imports from China of quality that is competitive with all other nations in the world. Thirdly, we want finance and soft finance, which is finance over a long gestation period with low rates of interest. Based on that, that will help Nigeria get the capital formation which we have. Today, gross capital formation in Nigeria is 18% of GDP. We need to increase that to about 25%. China can be very helpful in this respect.
In terms of deliverables, and we'll go back to that, we've signed quite a number of railway contracts. Nigerians want to say, what are the Chinese really doing in Nigeria and what are we doing in China?
No, but the truth is that the railway projects take time. And we have two, there's the Lagos-Ibadan and then there's the Abuja-Kano. I think right now all that is functional is the Abuja to Kaduna. We need to get the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano working, and we need to get the Lagos-Ibadan working. That way it takes care of goods, it takes care of passengers, and it also increases productivity. I think that is very key. And quite frankly, and if the Chinese can also help us in restoration of our pipelines, it will help the rehabilitation of our pipelines and our depots so that it will reduce the distribution costs of petroleum products in Nigeria.
Let's put the entire shuttle diplomacy back together again. And not just about China. The president has been to France. His Minister of State for Oil is in Vienna. I'm sure you keep your eye on all these developments across the globe. So at the end of it all, we're nearing the end of the year. We said, look, the president has been in office for 6 months or 7 months since the beginning of the year. So if we go down and look at it, how much has been achieved, visiting 12 countries thereabout, what has been brought to the table?
I think, first and foremost, when there's a new administration, the face and the representative of the government is the president himself. Now he has a Minister of Foreign Affairs. You are going to see less traveling by the president and more representation by the Ambassador General of the country, which is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Rewane. That's going to take place now. The president is going to delegate a lot of responsibilities to his economic team, made up of Kemi Adeosun, Okenelema, and Udoma. He's also going to give a lot of powers and delegation also to the infrastructure team led by Rotimi Amechi and Governor Fashola. And then you'll have the production team, which is led by the president himself, which is petroleum, solid minerals, Dr. Fayemi, and the agricultural side. So you'll have the production side, you will have the infrastructure team, and you have the finance team, which is charged with one, maintaining fiscal order, increasing revenue, and also borrowing to meet shortfall. You talked about some states, or 6 states, talking about minimum wage and all that before, earlier on in this program. It's important to know that the states need a bailout, the states need a stimulant of economic activity, and this is what the president is trying to do. He will get bilateral terms and deals from the Chinese. He will get a good deal with from OPEC, and also he will then go forward with the economic team to raise and reschedule some of our financing burden which we have today, because the Naira is under extreme pressure at this point in time.
In terms of where does the Nigeria's financial system fit into the entire operations that you've laid out? I think from next year, perhaps this is when we start having the president sending out his disciples, the ministers, sorry for that use of words, sending them the disciples and say, look, you go this way, you go the other way, you've got to make deals along this way, we need to bring things back to the table and get the economy running, the budget, everything that needs to be done. You need a financial system, and that is where you operate. How do we move forward using the financial system structure to drive the entire economic ecosystem, a new ecosystem that President Buhari wants to build with the rest of his team?
You've raised a very fundamental question. The Chinese currency has just been put forward as a member of the SDR, that is about the convertible currencies of the world and the reserve currency. We have 7% of our reserves in the Chinese currencies. Because of that, the Chinese currency is going to appreciate in value, and our reserves will also appreciate in value. Secondly, the Chinese, like I said earlier on, the Chinese need to give us the best terms, not only terms of trade, but terms of finance. Thirdly, the budget of 2016 is under formulation at this point in time. There are basic assumptions about the price of oil, the exchange rate, and the production levels. All of those things will be determined. So as soon as the National Assembly receives the budget, the ministers will move in all directions. You call them disciples, but I call them ministers. But they will go in all directions. One, to restore the confidence of Nigeria in the international markets and its creditworthiness, to raise additional finance, because we're going to have to spend almost 7 to 8 trillion naira to stimulate this economy and boost it up into higher growth. The target is to achieve a growth rate of 8 to 12% over the next 2 to 3 years. And you know that right now we are growing at 2.85%. So we have our work cut out for us. We have oil price at $43. That's the lowest it has been in so many years. It has been, for the past 14 weeks, it has been below $50 a barrel. That is a major strain on our fiscal as well as our external imbalances at this point in time.
We increase our size of our reserves with the Chinese?
Yes, we are. First and foremost, we have to have better terms of trade, better terms of finance, and the quality of Chinese exports into Nigeria and the quality of the projects have to be of the best standards, highly competitive, equal to those that we get from the European Union.
Okay, let's leave it at that for today. Mr. Rewane, we thank you very much for your time. We understand your busy schedule, making the time to stick around for this conversation. You made this for us at the last minute, and we really appreciate that for us on the program. Thank you so much. Do have a great day ahead and a nice weekend.